Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura, or lauraxstitches, and we're back on this Saturday the 21st of December for my December update. It's not just going to be my December update, it's also going to be my year in review, my plans, and a little WIP parade which fits nicely into the year in review and the plans itself. Full disclosure, I have tried filming this video twice now and two different reasons why I didn't like it. So I'm trying again and hoping that this is the one. I had a pretty terrible day yesterday and I tried to film and it didn't really work out. So hopefully this is okay and we can go through it. Nothing to be stressed about, just anxiety rearing its ugly head at a really terrible time. So hopefully we're all good. I am on holidays now, so I'm really excited about that. I get to relax and surround myself with positive people and have good times, so yay. If you saw my last video, you know that Carly from Stitches and I are holding a retreat in May of 2020 right at the end, the 29th to the 31st in Marupna, Victoria, which is right near Shepparton. So if you're an Australian, go and watch that video. Actually, if you want to come for a holiday to Australia, there's a few people I could name, but I'm not going to do that. You should watch that video and see the details. It has a link to register. We are over half full, so if you would like to do that, I would do it as soon as possible. It's $60 for 3 days and it's going to be lovely. It's going to be such a good time. So have a look at that. And if you're a potential vendor or someone who would like to make a donation, please get in contact with me through Instagram, which is lauraxstitches, or if you'd like my email, just leave a comment below and I'll be able to email you back. I don't think there was anything else I was going to say for the retreat, but it should be pretty fun, pretty exciting. So what have I been up to apart from that? Well, we'll just get into WIPs, I suppose. Last time you saw me, I was trying to decide on what I was going to work on next, and I ultimately decided to work on the WIP Retreat 2019 logo, as I had just come back from there, and so I wanted to do something from that. And that's it really. Oh, that's better. There we go. Stitches 2019 retreat is there. And I ended up stitching this on a piece of either 32 or 36 count linen. It was gifted to me, so I'm not sure, by my lovely grandmother. And I hand dyed it orange. So here's my version. And it is stitched in the supplied thread, which is a silk from Silks For You, and it's reminiscent of the gum trees here, so the pink for the flower and the green, the browny grey. And I was tossing up whether to stitch this logo, but I'm glad I did with the variegated. It looks really cool. So that's it there. A bit hard to read on camera, but in person it's really clear what it says, so very happy with that one. I will finish that at some point into something cool. Then I actually used my Tiny Decisions wheel to do a spin, and it chose what I worked on next, and it chose Epic Pokemon. So I'll pop in a picture of what that will look like when it's finished and what it looked like last time. For anyone that's new that doesn't know about this piece, it's a free pattern from Sprite Stitch. I am stitching the extended version, which I found on Reddit. So if you just look that up, you'll find it. It's generation 1 and it's extended because the outside isn't cut off. And in the extended version, there's a big blue border, background, which I'm not doing. I'm omitting that myself. And it's out of the Q-Snap because Matt had a few mates over last night for some drinks, and he said, show them your Pokemon thing. So I took it out. And here is where it is. The moment. Wait. That's sideways. Let's try that again. There we go. That's where we are. And I'm currently on page 14 of 25, and what I worked on was all of the black. So I finished the black. What actually slowed me down was that my gridding was incorrect, so I actually had stitched the first 2 columns of row out. What happened was at the retreat I had gridded, and then as I was stitching I thought I did it wrong, so I re-gridded. But actually my original stuff was correct. So yeah, it's all out, not all of it, the gridding is out a row. I'm just fixing it up as I go. So all the black's finished for page 14, and when I next choose this WIP, I'll probably do some colour completing. I'm still not sure how I'm going to do that, whether I'm going to do one colour for the whole page or do it in columns, or I'm not really sure yet, or a diagram, I don't know. So I'm leaning towards the whole page because I've kind of changed how I'm marking my patterns, so it might help, but yeah, we'll see. But I'll tell you about that change soon. So that is Epic Pokemon. I'm really excited that I have my love for that piece back. It's good. It's a good pattern. Next, the wheel chose Geometric Lion by, oh, it was in Cross Stitch Crazy magazine. That's what it will look like finished, and it's from May 2017, issue 228. It's in a set with a wolf and a fox, which I will end up doing at some point, but that's the one I've been doing, and pretty excited to say I did get to finish this one. I picked it up and I was only going to do like a quarter of it, and then I decided no, I'm going to do the rest. I had about half done. Hopefully I put in a picture of what it looked like last time, but I had about half done, and I was doing it symmetrical, so I was doing one side of this colour and then I would do it on the other side, but then I ended up doing it the whole colour for the rest of the pattern, so colour completing pretty much. This is on a piece of 32 count Murano. It's Fabrics of the Month by Sparkly, so it doesn't have a name, but yeah, that's it all finished. So that barking you just heard was my 2 dogs barking at some stuffed toys we bought them and put under the tree. So that's really fun. Anyway, let's move on. So great to have another finish. And my current WIP is Lorna, the Ladybird Stitcher. It's her, whoops, it's her favourite WIP of mine. I can almost guarantee that. And it's Mirabilia's Renaissance Mermaid. So I'll pop in a picture of what that looked like last time. This is being stitched on my favourite kind of fabric, which is 32 count Jobelan in Oasis by Colour Cascade Fabrics. And here she is. I've got the fan on, sorry, it's a bit warm, but that's what she looks like at the moment. I haven't stitched on her the past couple of days because it's been a bit funny. Timing and with recording videos and not using them, yeah, it's been a bit annoying. So since you last saw it, if I couldn't find a picture, I'll just show you. I was up to about where that needle minder is. So here, what I've done is I've stitched across the top of the tail to get to her little bag thing, which is going to be really heavily beaded. It's going to have a treasure in the middle and here, and it's going to have beads around it, beads coming down and beads going up to her hand. So then because I've stitched there, I'm able to now stitch down the tail, which is what I'm doing. I'm just picking whatever colour's next, doing a thread, and then getting to the next colour. Now speaking of this piece, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's the lighter chronic through there. It's like a blue. It's 014 High Luster. If anyone has any, or if they know where I can get some relatively cheaply, I've actually run out and I only need enough for 40 more stitches, and I don't want to have to buy things to make the postage worth it. So if you've got some and you're willing to give some to me, and I'm happy to pay for the postage for a little bit of chronic to come to me, please let me know. And we can sort something out, but it would just save me buying a whole spool for no reason. So if you're going to do that pattern, I would suggest getting a couple of the 14. Another thing that I've done that I can now show you is a little Bulbasaur, which I'm going to put up here for Adele. This was for our KK presents. We do KK in the Mother Fruckers group. Well, it's not a group, it's a group chat. The Mother Fruckers are the, I'm saying Fruck by the way, the admins of the Frooks group. Oh, I should say Mother Frooks. Fruckers. I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Whatever. It's the admins of the Frooks group, and I had Adele, so I stitched her this Bulbasaur and put a couple of things together. She received it, so I'm able to show you that now. So I'm glad you enjoyed it, Adele. I wanted to show you something that I've been doing, like I said before, with Epic Pokemon, that I'm now doing to mark my patterns. At the retreat, Carly, Kaz Stitches, was showing off the pattern keeper to people to teach them how to use it. I have an iPad and pattern keeper is only on Android and it's only full coverage, so I was looking for an alternative, and Mitch Stitch had her iPad, I think, out, and she was saying she just uses Apple Books. She puts the patterns into Apple Books, or she takes a photo of the ones that aren't PDFs and just converts them into PDFs through Apple Books. So I decided to do the same thing, and now I'll show you Epic Pokemon. This is a free pattern, so don't stress about seeing it, but all the blue and the weird like greeny blue colour you can see are my markings. I'll show you. My favourite thing is that you can just zoom in, but that blue is how I mark off. I'm finding it really easy to do it that way. This is where I marked up, so I went over the top of what I'd already done just to make sure it was all good. But I really like the fact that you can zoom in, especially for Renaissance Mermaid, because I'm doing her, I took a photo of the pattern and put that in here as well. Because the Mirabilia patterns are so small, you can get lost in there. I don't have any eye issues or anything, like my eyesight's fine. It's just that I can get confused with the symbols and they're really small, so it's nice being able to zoom in and see what I'm actually doing. So that's really cool. Okay, because I finished Geometric Lion, I now have the small slot in my WIPs free. I don't have any smalls going. So I'm going to start a new one, and I actually use the Tiny Decisions app to choose this. I have a bunch of smalls that I've put into a wheel and it just chooses a small. I don't mind doing my starts that way because they're smalls and I want to get through them all anyway. But medians and up I'll probably choose myself. But it chose an Ink Circles pattern called 4 in the Bush. You can stitch it that way, or you can stitch it with the colours, which is what I'm going to be doing. I am, however, choosing my own colours for in there. This is 413, the dark colour, which is a grey. I might do that colour, or I might change it to something else, but I am leaning towards the 413. So I've chosen my own colours for that one. And I'm going to be stitching this on a Silk Weaver 28 count opalescent Lugana. That looks like that. Pretty true, actually, that's quite good. And the colours I'm using for that middle part are all Moselle silks. I have a few. I received some at the Mittagong Citrus Retreat off the freebie table, and I've purchased some off Silks, off Sash Unload as well, so I thought I should probably use them. And that's kind of the colour palette I'm going for. I'm kind of obsessed with them. So this one here is Mimosa with the beautiful pink at the bottom. And then we've got Salmon Mousse, which I really love that one. Then this one, this beautiful purple is Plum Pudding. And the other one is Black Forest Tort or Tart or Torte or something. I don't know how to say it, but it gets progressively darker. So I think they're going to look really cool. Obviously I won't use much of each of them, but it will just be nice to have some silks in there in some fun colours. And I think it works really well with the fabric, and with that dark colour it'll look really nice over the top. So I think what I'm going to do is, I wasn't going to do this until Monday, but because I'm filming today, I'll talk about that in plans. I'll wait till then. So that's all of that. Let's talk about haul. I've got 2 presents and something I actually purchased today. So speaking of that KK, my person who got sent to me was Amanda. She stitched Pixels. I think she still stitched Pixels. I'm confused. But I'm pretty sure she is. If you look up Stitch Pixels, you'll be able to find her Flosstube. I'm just making sure I get everything at right at the end of my ironing board. So the first thing is she went to Scotland and she sent me this postcard, which I love because my family is Scottish. And this kit, and Amanda, I'm pretty sure that I stitched this when I first ever cross stitched when I was about 8, 9, 10. I'm going to stitch it again. I'm going to make it for my mum because she loves Westies. They're her favourite thing. Favourite dogs. She also sent me some yarn and a crochet hook. She's an amazing crocheter. Is that the right term? I don't know. And at some point I was learning to crochet, so she sent me these, and I think this wool will be easier to crochet with because it's not as fluffy as the other one I've been trying, so maybe I'll actually learn how to do it. So far I'm really terrible. I don't think wool crafts are my thing. I just don't think they are. She also sent me a bunch of threads, DMC Etoile. So we've got 318, 433 and 310. I don't think that, oh, there's a little bit of sparkle but not heaps. So awesome to have those. And also some variegated ones. So there's those ones. And then there's another couple. If they would stay up, that would be great. And those ones. So it's nice to have some really cool variegated ones. I have a lot of DMC variegated, but not these. So that's really nice. So this is the main event. She stitched me my first Viscornu. I've never stitched one, and I have never received one, so this is pretty cool. So this is Eevee from Pokemon and 3 of her evolutions, Jolteon, Flareon and Vaporeon. Vaporeon's my favourite. So really cool, love it. It's beautifully made. So I need to find somewhere to pop this. Matt was really funny. He goes, what is it? I said it's a Viscornu. I was like, what do you do with it? I'm like, it's a way to display your stitcher. You can put pins in it, whatever you want. And he just looked confused. So I just stopped explaining. So thank you, Amanda. That was really, really cool to have received my first Viscornu from you. The next one is a gift I received from someone who doesn't want to be named. And the fabric I received from this person is from Chromatic Alchemy, and it's 32 Cat Murano in Glacier. So this beautiful blue, and it's got some white coming through as well. You can kind of see it at the top there. So another cool piece of fabric to have, and a couple of silks for use. So they're of course orange and blue, which is very me, and I think they're both, oh, this one's 152, so it is an actual one that you can get, and the other one is from August this year from their Silk of the Month Club. So thank you to that person again. And things that I've purchased today were actually from Spotlight, which was really surprising because I don't often purchase things from there anymore. But we were going there as I kitted up my sister a cross stitch that she found off Etsy for Christmas. So I was getting her the DMC for that. And Matthew and I were walking through and we found a little collection of cross stitches that were 40% off. And they're all Star Wars, which is really cool. I'm assuming because of the new Star Wars movie that's out. So the first one I purchased was this Stormtrooper. It looks like Dimensions has done this with them. So that's the first one, and it's blue. And Matt's a big blue fan, so he's happy with that. Then Matt really liked this one with Darth Vader, which is pretty sick. And it's on black, so that's pretty cool. And this one was my favourite because of this beautiful galaxy stuff, and that's all half stitch. But yeah, really cool. So they'll go into stash and they'll come out when they come out, probably sooner rather than later because they're really sick. And often if I stitch stuff that Matt likes, I get I don't like get more, like I don't let him run my life, but he's happier for me to stitch. Let's just put it that way. So that is all the haul. So let's talk about the year in review. As much as I didn't stitch this year, I also did have a pretty successful year in terms of finishes. I'm actually going to go and grab those now and I'll come back. So I actually had 9 finishes this year, which was pretty awesome, considering I didn't stitch for about 3 months. So I'm running through those now, and I'll tell you which ones were starts and which ones were carried over from the year before. So this one was a start this year and also a finish, and it's Bound Hearts. I can't remember who it's by. I finished this early this year. I think it was in January. This thread is a Cottage Garden threads, I think that's what they're called, and it's in Butterfly. Really pretty. I need to finish that into a hoop, I think. I think it's perfect for a hoop. Another one that was a new start and also a finish. It is a Lizzie Kate, and it's from the Less Equals More series, and it's the first one, which is Fear Less, Hope More. And because I'm doing them all on one, I have it in my WIP pile. It's not a WIP, but it's just sitting in there. So that's the first one, and I started the border. A lot of the border's done. So Fear Less, Hope More. I've used any of the called for that I had, and then I had to purchase one I think that I couldn't match, and then I used my own flosses and silks that I had. Like this pink is a Silks For You, I think all the pink is, and some other ones that I had from Stash and Load. So really happy with that. It's really nice, and to pull it out again makes me want to get cracking on the rest, but I'll do them as they come. So that will keep going as they get caught up. So I really like that. The next one I finished was not a start this year. It was a piece I carried over from, I think, just the year before. I don't think it was, or it might have been the year before that actually. It's the Fantasy Cell by Lakeside Needlecraft, designed by Doreen Jones. Why can't I get this sitting properly? So yeah, Lakeside Needlecraft distributed it, but Doreen Jones designed it. It's on 32 count Jobelan from Colour Cascade Fabrics in Forbidden Fruit. So cool, so cool. I need to get it finished off, like fully finished. But I do have other things on here that are from last year, but so cool, love it. What is next? Another one that I had carried over from, I think, 2017 was this one, which is from Stitcherovia, and it's called Fast Food. Just stitched on 18 count Ada. This was one of my least favourite WIPs at the time because it was just being annoying and the fabric was annoying as well. Big blocks of colour, that kind of thing. So it's nice to have that one finished. After that I had a bit of a break of finishes because I wasn't really stitching. Then I stitched the Bulbasaur you saw before. I also stitched Amethyst Crystal for my small for the Mittagong Stitches retreat, so I'll pop in a picture here of what that looked like. Then at the retreat I finished this hands-on design called Seize the Day. That's what that looks like. I'm going to finish that off for my dad, I think, because I don't think I'll put it anywhere in the house, so I'll give it to Dad. He likes boats. Then I finished the Mittagong logo and Geometric Lion, and the Mittagong logo and the Geometric Lion and Seize the Day were all starts. So I put down that I had, actually I have another finish, I actually have 10, but I can't show you it. And I put down that I had 6 starts, but actually I would have had 8 because of the Bulbasaur and the Amethyst. Whatever, I'll just say 6. And they were Bound Hearts, Fearless, Geometric Lion, Hufflepuff and Adventure Awaits, which I'm going to show you very soon, and the logo, Mittagong logo. So I'm happy that I had more finishes and starts. I do have one UFO I need to talk to you about. I started this as a sale for Belinda, and it's to cross stitch her birthday, and it's Enchanted Mermaid by Mirabilia. I have decided not to continue this one. I'll just really quickly show you the start that I had which is not a lot. There's a tiny bit in the middle there that you can see. She's beautiful. She's very big. She's lovely to look at, and I've seen her finished in person a few times. I just don't get excited when I think about stitching on her. She's also quite expensive, which I knew, and I think I picked her because everyone else was starting it, and I was all like, oh, I want to start a sale with you guys, but I probably shouldn't have. So I'm going to unpick that and use the fabric for something else and take her out. I'll figure out what I'm going to do with the pattern, and I do have a number of other Mirabilias that I'd like to start when Renaissance Mermaid is finished. So I'll get there when I get there. I only finished one page of Epic Pokemon this year, but that's okay. I'm alright with that. Positives of the year were the Mittagong retreat and organising our own retreat with Carly, which will happen next year. I am really excited for that, and the Mittagong retreat was amazing. The people there are amazing, and I miss them a lot. A negative, I guess, is no stitching, and I think that stems from the challenge groups. I don't dislike the challenge groups, I just don't like them for me. I did get a little bit over them when they started getting really competitive and political, so I left. Not political as in like worldwide politics, like within the group. So I have actually left those, and it's been great to refocus and focus on goals that I have for my stitching. So let's talk about well, the WIP rate. I'm only going to show you things that I haven't shown you already, because there's no point showing you again. My oldest WIP is Epic Pokemon, which was started on the 28th of October in 2016. My next oldest is Princess Collection, and that's by Soda Stitch. It was started in Mania, so the 19th of May 2017. That's what they'll look like when they're finished. And so far I've finished the first two and I'm midway through Ariel. And that's what they look like now. I changed her to say Ariel rather than the Little Mermaid. So that will be my next large one to focus on finishing, which I'll explain in my plans. What's the next oldest one? I can't remember. Renaissance Mermaid. She was started on the 1st of September in 2017. Then we've got a Haid, which is a mini, and it's Mini Clockwork Dragonling by Jasmine Beckett Bridget. I can never say that properly. That's what she'll look like when she's done. She will be my next full coverage to focus on after Pokemon is finished. I only have a very small amount on this one. I actually stitched the whole first page 2/1, and then I restarted it 1/1 because 2/1 was really thick. I cleaned out my cupboard behind, oh no, is it behind me? Yeah, it is behind me, but I found it, that first page, and I'm so glad because I felt it was so thick and horrible, and I just remember stitching through that, and it was so hard to get the needle through. So I will stitch on her when Epic Pokemon's finished. My next WIP I started on the 1st of January 2018, and it's Rapunzel. Shaded by Haid, designed by Anya Kai. And she doesn't have a whole lot on her either, because I then refocused on Epic Pokemon. She will be my Haid focus when Mini Clockwork Dragonling is done, so not for quite a few years, but that's where she is at the moment. Those are both on 25 count easy count. I think it's easy count. I don't remember. So that's my next oldest one. Then I had a start like 3 days later on the 4th of January 2018. And this is Clouds Factory's Kings and Queens of the UK, and I'll pop in a picture of what that will look like when it's finished. Here it is now. I ended up doing this as a sale for myself in 2018, doing one King or Queen a month, and then I've worked on it since. And that will be my focus after, my large piece focus after Princess Collection is done, as it's the next oldest. Then was Enchanted Mermaid, but now she's a UFO. After that, I started this one on the 25th of November in 2018, and it's another cell. And it's by, actually I say another cell, but I don't have any other cells in my WIPs. I don't know what I was talking about then. Tiny Modernist Medieval Mansion cell. I've finished the border and the first part, which was the dragon and the door, and I've started the third part for a challenge, which will probably be the next part that I finish, and that will be a focus after Kings and Queens is done, so that one's a bit further down the line, and I'll kind of explain that a little bit more in my plans. Oh, that was a loud sneeze. Then I had a couple of starts, but they're already finished. Then this year in May, on the 23rd, I started a design by Mandarinks Designs called Hufflepuff. Ignore the brown, that's the fabric, and I've kind of got a brownie fabric to stitch that on, and that is what I've done, and that's the first page. It just needs some back stitch and then that's finished. So there's 4 pages, whoops, there's 4 pages on that one, and that's my only medium-sized piece at the moment, which will be focused on soon, and I'll explain that soon. Then my latest start, which was on about the 3rd of November, is by Stitches Lovers Shop on Etsy, and it's the Adventure Awaits baby sampler for my niece or nephew that's due in April. So I've started that off. Pretty exciting to have a new niece or nephew. I can't wait. She's getting so bumpy. It's so exciting. And that's my WIPs, and I have 9. Don't ask me how that happened. I felt like I had like 14 or 15, and then suddenly I've got 9. So that's pretty cool. Pretty excited about that. So that's all the WIPs. Let's talk about plans and how this kind of works. So how my rotation works at the moment and how I'm going to continue it for the foreseeable future is that I have a wheel on Tiny Decisions. It doesn't have all of my WIPs in it. It has my focuses. So at the moment it's got 4 focus WIPs and they're repeated. So there's Epic Pokemon as my full coverage focus, the Baby Sampler as my large/medium focus, Renaissance Mermaid as my Mirabilia focus, and 4 in the Bush as my small focus. Okay, so I spin the wheel and it chooses what my next project's going to be, and then I work on that until I reach a goal on them. Renaissance Mermaid at the moment, she's just a week or so, and then as I get into beading it will change. Often the small one is just to finish it or get half done. Epic Pokemon a week, and Baby Sampler is to just smash it out as much as I can, and as I gets closer to being finished, if it gets come up, I'll probably just work on it until it's done. I can do as much as I can until I know the name and the date and everything of the birth of the baby and stuff. Oh, I get so excited thinking about it. So when the Baby Sampler is done, I'm going to pop in Princess Collection, and I'm going to add Hufflepuff in. So that will mean I have a full coverage focus, a large Princess Collection, a medium Hufflepuff, a small, which will, at the moment is 4 in the Bush, and my mirror. That's how that's going to work. So for example, I'm going to spin in a moment for my next project to work on after Renaissance Mermaid, and she's going to get today and tomorrow, and then I'm going to switch. Now we're going away straight after Christmas, which is really soon, and I don't want to take Epic Pokemon or my Renaissance Mermaid with me, so I may have to spin a couple of times to get the WIP that I'm going to work on. So if it chooses 4 in the Bush, I will start it and work on it and take it with me, and if it looks like I'm going to finish it early, I will take my next small start with me, which I'll then have to decide. If it spins the Baby Sampler, I'll just take that because I'm not going to get that finished. So let's spin the wheel together. Oh my god, I know I've done this on camera before, so it might pick up the wrong one. Yeah, so I can't take Renaissance Mermaid with me. Also, I forgot to say, if it spins the WIP that I've just worked on, that it chose for like the week before, for example, I'm going to spin it again so I don't get burnt out, because I get really sick of stuff if I work on it for too long. Let's try again. Watch it just pick the wrong ones the whole time. Yep, there's Epic Pokemon. Let's try again. Okay, so it's picked 4 in the Bush. So that means I'm going to start 4 in the Bush on Monday, and work on it and take it with me, and then if I need to, I'll take the small with me as well. So that's really exciting. I get to start more in the bush. Can't wait. In terms of other plans for 2020, apart from working with that, I'm going to continue using that no matter what. And then I'm also going to use the Mythological Stitches Challenge group, which is run by Adele and Sarah. I'm not going to change my plans to suit the challenges. If they happen to suit the challenges, I will put them in there. Now their group has monthly and weekly challenges, and they're very loosely based, so you can be really like strict with yourself and do exactly what they say, or you can kind of do it, which includes a stitch count. They say a suggested amount of stitches. Say for example, suggested 1500 stitches for this month. You don't have to do 1500 stitches, which I love. So I'm just going to work on it for as long as I was planning on working for it, and then popping that progress into the group, which I think will work really well for me, so I'm not making myself stitch on stuff, just making the focus fit. So they're my plans for 2020. I'm going to keep using my wheel and keep rotating WIPs in as I finish them. I don't see myself having a large start for quite a while, probably at least next year, if not the next year after that. Goals for next year would just be to keep churning out the smalls, keep working on those. Epic Pokemon, I don't really want to set myself a number of pages, but I would love to obviously finish the row that I'm on, which is the page I'm on and another one, and then perhaps halfway through the next row would be good, so 5 pages total. That would be nice. That gives me just over a couple months to finish a page, so that should work out really well, and if I get any more done, I'll be really happy with that. Renaissance Mermaid I'd really like to finish, and then choose my next mirror to start. I obviously need to finish the baby sampler. I would like to finish Princess Collections. That one's been hanging around for too long, and then get a good dent into Kings and Queens. If not finish it, that would be really cool. Hufflepuff, I don't really mind if I finish it or not. I'll just work on it as it comes up. I'm not too fussed that way. And like I said, the smalls, I just want to keep working on those, get those little finishes, and that would be really cool too. What was I going to say? Oh yes, in terms of my Flosstube, I think I was talking with Matt today, and I think I'm going to start filming more regularly. It just means that my videos will be maybe 10 minutes long. I think it will be easier for me with work if I do smaller videos, which means less time editing as well. So it could potentially be weekly videos for me. You'll just have to be okay with them being 10 minutes maybe long. They could even be less. I think it's Crafting Jamie. I think that's her name. If not, I'll put her correct name on the screen. She does videos like that where they're up to 15 minutes long, usually less. And I really like that. And I think it means that I'll be able to choose my WIPs on screen with you as well, which I think is really cool. It means I can't lie. Choose the wrong WIP. But yeah, I think that'll be really cool, and to have just more regular updates and shorter videos, and that helps you guys as well, not have to sit through really long videos, which I love though, so I get it. So that sounds good to me. So yay, got through the video. I'm happy with this one. I'm excited to upload it now. So thank you for sitting through that and listening to me waffle and waffle. I am excited for 2020. I'm looking forward to changes in lots of different areas of my life. It's the year I'm getting married, which I'm really, really excited for, obviously, as well. It should be a great year, a busy year, but a good year. There's a few changes happening with people that will happen to be around me, and I'm kind of looking forward to that, to have some more positive influences around me to help my mental health. And also just to get through the day. So thank you again for watching and supporting all my stitching throughout the year. It's been amazing. Thank you to everyone that I was able to meet this year. You've made the year so special, and I'm looking forward to meeting even more people next year, especially at the WIP Stitches retreat, which is the one that Carly and I are organising. Can't wait to see your 2020 plans and your year in reviews and all of your updates, and I will see you guys probably either mid or late January. We've got our holiday, and then I think we're going to get stuck into some wedding planning when we get back, so I'll have to wait until later. But it might be straight after my holidays, so then I can start doing these more regular updates. We'll see. I will talk to you then. Thanks for watching. Bye everyone.